Lagos Assembly Speaker others sympathize with colleague over death of mom. Lagos lawmaker holds free medical screening exercise for constituents for treatment of hypertension, arthritis, among others. Plus, as the year gradually winds down, we'll bring you a review of the activities of the Lagos State House of Assembly in the year 2017. We have details coming up. This is Lagos Parliament. I am Abimbola Agbebi. We welcome you to our last episode for the year, featuring activities of the Lagos State House of Assembly in the last 12 months.
Get closer to your legislators. See them in action as they deliberate on moving the state forward. Watch updates on weekly events, presentation of bills, passage of laws, adoption of resolutions, and many more. Also, get a chance to meet the lawmaker of the week and watch the legislators. Observe plenary in Yoruba language. Lagos Parliament, every Thursday, 7:30 p.m. on TVC News Nigeria. Lagos Parliament, bringing the legislature closer to you.
On a rather sad note, the Speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Mudashiru Obasa, has joined colleagues to commiserate with a colleague and counterpart representing Agege Constituency 2 in the State Parliament over the demise of his mother. Obasa joined colleagues to bid the deceased farewell, describing her as the mother of all.
To live a life serving God to the end. This is a very good example. It's a report that everybody cannot lie. As Negroes, God's mission to forgive. Mama did her own bit. Our last convention, Mama started with the beginning. And until Friday, the praise concert, she was here at the vigil and the praise concert. I saw her, and I thought I would see her on Sunday the Thanksgiving. But when she left here, and she went home and she slept, she got her, and the end came.
I would say she's very caring and compassionate. She places our well-being over anything, money, fame, and I really appreciate that about her. I don't have anybody like a grandmother that's that caring, that worries a lot about my well-being, and she's the only one that I had. So, I mean, I haven't still come to terms with it because I'm still talking in the present tense sometimes. So I would say that I was really sad, but I'm thankful because of the memories I have of her.
I describe her as like a caring and loving grandmother. I really miss my grandma, I won't lie. I don't want to be emotional on TV, but she's quite of a quintessential element to me. We're inseparable. So her death has made me torn, and I'm always depressed anytime I think of her death, you understand? Because I've been there since I was like 2, and she has been caring for me. Even though when my grandpa was to beat me, she would just come and like be my guardian angel. But now she's dead, it's like a big part of me has died, and I can't feel complete again.
Like Professor Dr. Ebenezer Obey advised the family, I also want to lend my voice to telling them that all those virtues that Mama displayed while she was alive, they should not allow it to die like that. They should embrace it and they should display it in living, so that would be something that will gladden Mama's heart wherever she is at any point in time. Once again, I condole with the family and I say it is well with all of them.
No, actually I've never had any encounter with her, but with what I've heard about her today, that shows she's a disciplined woman, a well-caring woman, who has been able to bring up the kids in the right way, in the way of the Lord. So she's quite good. She's quite good. She's a wonderful mother.
She's bold. She's agile. She's kind-hearted, and she's effective. I think that describes who she was. And I also want to add that she's God-fearing, because she has brought up his children in the way of the Lord.
Well, there's no condolence in this case. We need to thank God. From God we came, and we're going to go back to Him. So Mama has gone back to God, and he has gone to rest in the bosom of the Lord. So for me, it's not about condolence. I want to congratulate him, because the Yoruba adage says that we should all live after our parents. He has done that now. So I want to congratulate him, and I want to pray that the father will live very long. I don't think there's any condolence there. For me, there's no condolence. I just want to congratulate Ogundimu.
I feel happy because I'm celebrating my mom, so I'm very happy. Even though I was emotionally attached to her, but there is nothing we pray for than for you to bury your mom, and that is happening today, so I'm happy. I'm going to miss somebody that is not seeing me and she come looking for me. I'm going to miss everything about her.
Loving woman, caring, very industrious, very assertive, but very loving. We'll miss her deeply. But we take solace in God that she's resting with the Lord. And then from all we have heard, the positive things, we wish that we were able to emulate and live a better life than she did.
I think the first thing to do is to thank Almighty God for the blessings over Ogundimu's family. And also, I will also commend my brother and friend, Honorable Ogundimu, and he has been able to show us through this process since the day Mama died up to this moment that the need for us all to have strong belief and faith in God. Mama, while alive, through the children, you can confirm that she was an exemplary woman. She was a woman of fashion. She was a very dedicated woman who chose to nurse her children. And that you have seen, most especially in our friend Ogundimu. Mama did not reduce her love and care for her children alone. Even some of us who are friends of the children, she also extended that love to us. Well, I won't say it's unfortunate, but it's bound to happen, and each one of us will witness it. We only pray that Almighty God should give us, long life, good health, and everything that makes life worthy to live. So we'll continue to pray that Almighty God should grant Mama eternal peace.
Now, some residents of Barigal have commended Governor Akinwumi Ambode for the commencement of some road projects in the area. Speaking with their representative in the State Parliament, Honorable Rotimi Abiru, The people also applauded the prompt response of the state government to their calls for help on the perennial flooding of their community. There appears to be more communities in Lagos begging for government attention in the area of infrastructural renewal. For residents of Bariga area, the experience with flooding and bad road network has inevitably had effect on their daily lives.
Everything is very, very bad here. Please, I'll need you people to help us because we are suffering. You can see everywhere. By January, I will see all these houses is a problem to us. Some businesses have been crippled. Some individuals grapple with serious health hazards on account of clogged drainage channels.
If rain fall, all those places, no good at all. Nobody can enter for this place. If you go down, water plenty there. When rain fall, you go carry my tools come out, go keep them.
Look at the water now, and the mosquito is too much for us, unless they can do it for us.
This place is not motorable. Even though if you have any emergency, there's no way for us to take it out. But the government has promised us. So we don't know when they will come and do it for us.
These and other issues prompted the lawmaker representing the area in the state parliament, Honorable Rotimi Abiru, to embark on a tour of communities to feel their pulse. Accompanied by officials of the State Ministry of Works and Infrastructure, the first port of call was Alhaji Ariya Road, where the road is apparently below the lagoon. Other places visited were Odusi Street, Ayola Lawal Street and Oreshagum Street. But there is a glimpse of hope with the recent move made by the state government to commence work on some of the roads highlighted. This, many of the residents believe, wouldn't have been possible without the efforts made by their representative in the state parliament.
For Ariya Road, I think it has been explained to us that the project has already been awarded, and the government appreciates the challenge of this part of Bariga, and they intend to do the drainage terminating into the lagoon and also do that Ariya Street. It is part of the project that is being done on the other side of the road.
This is one of the major projects that we are experiencing here. So we want to first of all appreciate him. I think it's a project that's going to benefit our people.
The tour also offered the Ilaje fishing community in the area opportunity to seek government's intervention in the dredging activities which have crippled their business.
The challenge has been identified, and they have told us what they would do to reduce the challenge of the people.
While they patiently await the completion of the road projects in the area, Abiru urged the people to play their part in ensuring that the drains are free of filth. The significance of regular medical screening as one of the ways to avert life-threatening diseases was again brought to the fore at a free medical screening exercise organized by a member of the Lagos State House of Assembly for the elderly in his constituency. The people were screened for treatment of hypertension, arthritis, among others. In their numbers, residents of Lagos mainland gathered to take part in the ongoing free health screening put together by the representative in the state parliament, Honorable Oladile Adekoye. According to the lawmaker, life-threatening diseases such as hypertension, arthritis, among others, can be managed if diagnosed early.
In mixing up with them, I have come to the realization it's not particularly because it's peculiar, but at least this is where I represent, that they have some of these health challenges, principally diabetics and hypertension. And that's why I need to also intervene in my own little way, to be sure. There are many people, some of them don't even know that they have some of these diseases, as it has revealed itself even this morning. So it's good that one has taught it or has deemed it fit to create this forum, to create this opportunity where our people in Lagos mainland constituency will be able to take advantage of the opportunity we are availing them to know their status in relation to some of these diseases that we have mentioned.
There is a lot of things in the country now that you need to check your BP, your blood sugar. Most of them don't know. So it's very good that he's doing this.
Tagged Elderly Healthcare Assistance Program, Adekoye says the initiative was geared towards complementing the efforts of the state government in the area of healthcare delivery.
My effort today is to complement what the government of the state is doing for the elderly in healthcare. and also to see opportunities that can be created in making old age less stressful for our elders.
For beneficiaries who had undergone series of medical tests, they saw the need to pay closer attention to their health by going for constant checkups at the hospital.
Some people at times they just find out that they are sick, some have strokes because they don't know that they are not okay.
But when I came here, the medical officers make me feel comfortable that I have no problem. So after checking up and giving advice, so I feel better.
They test my blood pressure. I had 130, 80, but there's supposed to be 120, 80. So it's a little bit higher than borderline. But I told them, what can I do? They told me I need to rest and do exercise and eat a lot of fruits. If I'm drinking, I should stop drinking.
The people, however, pleaded for more of such initiatives, not just at the local government level, but also by the state governments.
And on our big story on the episode, so much has happened in the year 2017. For members of the Lagos State House of Assembly, the outgoing year has been quite eventful. Several bills have been passed into law with a number of resolutions made for the smooth running of the government. We begin a flashback into the year 2017 with the activities of the lawmakers this way.
2017 was a very eventful year. It was a year where we have a rebirth of our environmental laws, where we think that the way we're doing business need to, we have to do business in a different way so that we will be able to get a different result. In 2017, the environmental bill was passed into law, and it encompasses all aspects of environment. It starts from the water law. It consists of the LASA law, which has to do with the advertisement. It also contains the law on LOMA, the wastewater law, and every other thing that has to do with the environment, LASPAC and the Ministry of Environment itself. Now, what the new environmental law seeks to do is to, bring in best practices in environment, and to a large extent, I will say that because where we are now is the implementation stage, and until the law is fully implemented, we obviously will not be able to carry out any evaluation on it for us to know if it has met its set objective. But the lacuna seen in most of as contained in the previous laws were seriously, addressed in the new law. So by and large, I would say that 2017 was a year for the environment family. It was when we lost a member, and I tell you, each time I look at the pictures of all the honorable members in Lagos State, the 8th Legislative Assembly, which is expected to span from 2015 to 2019, I feel, usually feel low that not all the 40 that started the journey will eventually make it to 2019, as contained in the oath of office, which is swore to represent his constituent from 2015 to 2019, among other things. That was one dark period in the House of Assembly, and we pray that such a thing will not repeat itself in our midst.
In words. But firstly, we want to thank Almighty Allah for sparing our lives. It's been a wonderful year. For the country, it's been a year that's been up and down. So many things have happened, positive and negative. And for Lagos State House Assembly, well, it's been a wonderful one in the sense that we've been able to move from glory to glory, and we've been able to show to the world how an House of Assembly should be conducted.
In saying that, we had a sad incident in the middle of the year, when we lost one of the key members of the House, Honorable Alimi, representing Etiosa. He was a wonderful member of the House. So really, it's been a year full of up and downs. But by and large, we want to thank Almighty Allah for what the House has been able to achieve. And we want to thank Almighty Allah for sparing our lives. We want to thank Almighty Allah for the kind of leadership we have in the House. We've churned out so many beautiful laws to make the issue of governance in Lagos very easy and people-oriented, because most of our laws in this House, we make sure that it's what the people want. It's not just churning out laws, it's just not making laws, but how does the law affect the people of Lagos State? That has been our major concern, and I can say boldly that all our laws has been wonderful, has been people-oriented, has been there to aid the executive in implementing their duties and their jobs. It's been wonderful that the governor has worked with the House of Assembly, has worked with the executive, has worked with the judiciary. So by and large, I think Lagos has been the better for it. Is it the cancer research bill we want to talk about? Is it the neighborhood watch we want to talk about? They have, in their own different ways, they're all very important. So if you're saying, okay, you want to talk about health, we talk about the cancer research bill, which was sponsored by the Speaker, and it's a bill that for everybody. You might not know the import of that bill if you don't have anybody that has got cancer close to you, or if you don't have cancer. But for people, for someone who has cancer, that bill will be the most important bill. The neighborhood watch can be divided into two. One is the issue of security. If you have not had any security issues or security scare in your life, you might not understand the impact of that law. So it's one aspect. Then the issue of employment. We have over 5,000 people that have been employed along that line. We have over 500 people that have been employed along that line. So for people like that who was employed through that scheme, then it shows that employing one person is like employing 10 people. Because that person you've employed, if he's a man, will have a wife, probably will have 2 or 3 kids. That person you've employed, if he has a car, will have a mechanic who will repair his car. He will have a carpenter that repairs some things for him in the house. So somehow, the money he's getting as being employed as a person would go down, would trickle down to so many other avenues. So that was why I said you can look at it, the neighborhood watch, from the security aspect. You can look at it from employment aspect. You can look at it again that this is a government that cares for its people. You can look at it again that's okay, we want to invite investors from outside, because nobody wants to invest in your city or your country or your state if they don't feel safe. So that was why I said to you, all the laws we made in this house are very important to me, because you can actually define them, you can read them from so many angles.
The year 2017, like any other year, has been a challenging year for all of us as legislators. You know, the country went through recession, you know, and the laws that needed to be made to jumpstart the economy, to jumpstart development, to sustain growth. These were challenges that we faced this year. But we thank God, glory be to God, we are going into to the end of 2017, and everything is looking upward. We're out of recession now, and development is in the air. Like, you know, our budget this year is 1 trillion plus for 2018, and that shows you that things are getting better. So for us, it's a win-win, even though it was challenging, but we're able to be on top of our game. The low points for me this year, 2017, is when we lost one of our colleagues. Actually, I'm Etiosa Constituency 2. He was Etiosa Constituency 1, Honorable Alimi. May his gentle soul rest in peace. That was the lowest point for us in this house. A high point for us in this house, I would say, when we passed Mr. Speaker's bill, the neighborhood safety corridor, which had to do with security within the state. That was to augment the security services within the state. You know, we had the issues of Badu and the rest of them messing up safety peace within our state. But thank God we're on top of it. Our governor was up to the task, and he's always been up to the task, and we'll be able to stem that ugly incident, especially the one coming from Ikorodu. But by and large, in government, it's just like life, ups and downs, but the key thing is how you manage it. And I think the Lagos State House of Assembly and the entire government of Lagos have been able to manage the year. For me, I'll say, well, it's been a great year. I'm looking forward to 2018. The job of legislator is lawmaking, oversight, and prudency, accountability, and the rest of them. So I'll just say we'll continue to do our best. If I'm allowed to use that word, we'll better our best if possible. So we'll continue to strive to ensure that those Lagosians that have put us, 40 of us to represent them in this House of Assembly, continue to give them the best, and we'll assure them that their confidence in us is well placed.
The year 2017 obviously came with its goodness, its riches, especially because Lagos State, as a center of excellence, celebrated its existence 50 years down the line. It was a golden year for us Lagosians, and it was obviously a very huge step, or can I say stage, and a pedestal for us as a people. So the first assignment carried out by the legislature was obviously the passing of the appropriation bill, which was tagged Golden Jubilee budget, as a result of the 50 years celebration of the Center of Excellence. And of course, we did our best as a legislature, the Lagos State House of Assembly, to continue to live above every standard of excellence. All the bills are important, very important, absolutely. But for me as chairman House Committee on Youth, Sports and Social Development, the day my two bills came to life and became law in Lagos State, that's the Lagos State Sports Commission Bill and the Lagos State Sports Trust Fund Bill. When it came to life, that was the highlight for me. And because it was the first time my bills were going through as a new member, after just about 2 years of this dispensation. So for me, it was very exciting, it was intriguing, it was challenging, it was tough. But I thank God that two bills were passed at the same, basically at the same time, one after the other, and I was able to share the limelight in terms of being able to be proud of what the bill would actually tend to create with its passage into law. One of the major sad moments was when we lost an honorable member, a part of us, Honorable Cousin Alimi, who passed on barely 10 days after his 50th birthday. It was very charming man. It was a very interesting gentleman. It was peaceful. It was loving. We liked them. We loved them. There was nothing bad you could actually say about Honorable Alimi, because it was just a peace-loving person. It was a go-getter. So it was a trying moment for us as honorable members, and it was a soft reminder as well for us as a people that we would one day meet our Creator. So we have to do the best we can while on the surface of this earth. But of course, we truly miss him. We'll continue to pray for him and continue to pray that God comforts the family that he has left behind. So being able to depart from us and accept the fact that we'll never see him again was a very hard part of the year 2017.
And on that note, we'd like to draw the curtains for the year 2017. From us, the Lagos Parliament crew, the year 2017 has been a great year. Of course, not without its challenges. From our hearts, we'd like to say thank you to you for being there with us through the year. The year 2018 will be a better one for all of us. Wish you a happy and a prosperous 2018. See you next year.